Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the village council meeting of May 13th. Do remember we are in recording session. Roll call, please.
Schmeckel.
Here.
Ruddy,
Here.
Fischel,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Medina,
Here.
Miller.
Here. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our brother, we give thanks for such a great community that you've provided for us, all the wonderful people that attend this meeting. And we pray tonight for the Duggar family who lost their home in a fire Saturday, and we hope that we pray that you will help them get through all of this.
One 1.25, no one's after. Appointment of new village council trustee. We have Dana Edwards and Kurt Colby. All right. I think I was gonna mess it up. Sorry, we got there. What is your guys's wishes?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Kurt Kehoe to the vacant council position.
First, a second. Okay, first, I get a second, please.
I'll second.
First, second, any discussion?
Well, you wanna go
Yeah,
first?
she said first. Did we move for Dana as well? How's that work?
Well, one motion at a time,
Okay.
okay, and then we could go on from there. Okay. I like that he's a business owner, and I don't believe we have any business owners currently on the council, and that you get a different point of view, and I appreciate that he's been coming to the meetings since he's been a business owner, even before he's been a village resident, so he's kind of speed on where we're at, he's aware of how we kind of run things, and I think he'd be a good fit for the position.
Got first, second.
Cook,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Ruddy. Medina,
Yes,
Fischel,
Yes.
Miller.
Yeah.
Got it.
welcome.
Welcome, Kurt. Fran, are you ready to?
Yes, I am.
Forward?
Yes, I am.
There's no time.
I, Turkey-O, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of village trustee in and for the village of Roscommon, county of Roscommon, and state of Michigan. According to the best of my ability. My term expires November 20th, 2024.
Should be able to hear something,
Perfect. See right here
I
next to
would
Fran.
think.
We got a temporary tag, please. So can you get your name straight?
Yes, congratulations. Kurt, welcome to the council. Dana, thank you for applying for the council, and I cannot wait to have you on the council tomorrow. Good luck in the election. Thank you.
His name's not as bad as Jennifer's last name.
You're getting it.
Okay, next item is approval of consent agenda.
I'll make the motion that we accept the consent agenda with bills to be paid in the sum of $14,981.31.
First, I guess second, please.
Second.
First, second, any discussion? Roll call.
Ruddy,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes,
Miller. Fischel,
Yes.
Kehoe,
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Next item is approval of regular agenda. Now you're with-
I'll make a motion that we approve the regular agenda as written.
First, can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Got first, second, any discussion? Tony?
I'd like to share an email that I sent to President Miller and the village manager on Sunday, May 4th. Dear President Miller, if it is not already planned for the upcoming agenda, I would like to request North Fourth Street sidewalk resolution / bid proposal be placed on the agenda. The proposed sidewalk I'm referring to is the one on the south side of North Fourth Street from Shelley Street to Edna Street. As an avid cyclist and pedestrian, I feel this sidewalk, if installed correctly, can be very beneficial to the walking members of our community. I would like to get the notice to bidders out so the council can award the bid at June's meeting and get the sidewalk put in for a portion of the summer. I previously mentioned looking into possibly an asphalt path, although asphalt may be cheaper, there's upkeep involved and the longevity is not that near that of concrete. I would like to ask that typically sidewalks are 4 foot wide. I would like to see this sidewalk 6 foot wide to better accommodate bicycles as well. Part of our master plan is to improve accommodations for all modes of transportation. If you need me to measure out the distance, I'd be willing to do so, just let me know. I never received a response to that email. And as you can see, it's not on the agenda. I was going through the newspaper this weekend and I saw there's a proposal, the bid proposal in there. Council never approved that sidewalk. So now I'm going to read a portion of the sidewalk ordinance, section 5, construction. Whenever the village shall deem that construction of a new sidewalk or the reconstruction of an old sidewalk a necessary public improvement, it shall be so declared by resolution, prescribing the property upon which such construction or reconstruction is ordered. It shall be the responsibility of the village manager or clerk within 5 days after the adoption of such a resolution to cause a notice of such a resolution to be served upon the owners or occupants of parcels of land which the sidewalk is to be constructed or reconstructed. Service of such notice shall be as follows. It tells you how you can mail it or go tell them. And then it says, notice shall direct the owner or agent of the owner to construct or reconstruct as the case may be. Such sidewalk is stated in the resolution within 21 days of such notice. Or in default thereof, the sidewalk will be constructed or reconstructed as the case may be by the village. The village may at the discretion hire a private contractor for such work. The cost of such work shall be assessed against the adjacent property owner in the same manner as provided by the assessments for the public improvement. The village council may, by 2/3 of the entire council, pay such part of the construction or reconstruction cost of such sidewalks as they may consider proper. This cost will be charged against the appropriate street fund of the village. But we've never done any of that. And what's it saying is, if we want a new sidewalk built, it's up to property owners have to pay for it unless the council by 2/3 vote says otherwise. We've never done that. We've never passed a resolution for that sidewalk. I'm just wondering who's going to pay for the sidewalk. And I'm just growing increasingly frustrated with the lack of involvement this council has in decision making. Like I brought up that sidewalk numerous times. I wanted it to be wider than 4 foot for bicycles. And none of this is 4 foot. Council has no say in it. And in my opinion, that's 1,200 feet of sidewalk. That's nearly a quarter mile. There probably should be some engineering work. If some people may recall that we put that useless sidewalk in on Brook Street, it went right over a curb stop. Then we had to jackhammer up. Right after a month or two after it got put in, we had to jackhammer it up to get to the curb stop. Get some engine. We're 1,200 feet going through wetland and all that. I think there should have been some engineering work and council should have been involved a little more. And I should at least got an email back saying it's gonna be in the newspaper. That's all I got.
Tony, I'll answer to your email. Usually Ron emails you back when he's gonna do that, so I didn't do it, because I didn't want to get it in order. Yeah.
Well, who's in charge here? Who's the village president?
I'm the
Who's
village
the
president.
chairman of the board?
Hey, can I speak to you? Okay, your turn. Thank you. I forgot about the email, and my fault, I had too many going on. Mr. Robinson says they're good filled out, and I will let Mr. Robinson come that.
Well, I just thought basically it'd be better for me to tell you what a sidewalk like this is gonna cost. You know, give you all the information so you can make a valid decision. Just because you put a bid in the paper doesn't mean you gotta act on it. You're just seeking prices. So so you know, Tony, you did recommend that it be 1/3 wider than what it is, and that's 1/3 more costs, and but there wasn't any motion or any direction from anyone saying that from the council perspective, saying that they wanted a 6 foot wide sidewalk versus a 4. So I went with just a general sidewalk that we put out there, and I'm hoping to get a bid. So at the June council meeting, you can look at the costs for this project and make a decision from there. So I just thought it's a little premature for me to give you a resolution, not knowing what the project's even gonna cost.
We never had even a chance to discuss what size sidewalk. We just. The village manager went ahead and did it.
You
Did
could
that
already-
useless sidewalk on Brook Street. You passed the resolution first, then you put the ad in the newspaper. And why we're putting the cart before the horse here.
You
You're
could-
putting an ad in the newspaper for a sidewalk we might not even want.
Exactly, yeah, and once you get that information back, you know, that might make your decision for you. So so again, the approach that I took is just get you the information so you guys can discuss it and make a decision. If you want to pass a resolution for it, then fine, but it's not like we haven't mentioned this in some of my reports over the last year or so that this area we were looking at expanding, so.
So it's never been like formally discussed. You mentioned it, but we've never formally discussed it, but whatever.
I think we formally discussed it when we put the culvert in, we talked about putting
And I,
sidewalk there to cover it at that meeting, I believe we covered.
and I mentioned that I wanted 6 foot wide then, but once again, like there's never been, it wasn't an action item, nothing. You never gave us a chance, but I'm over it. It'd be 4 foot. I'll just ride my bike in the street, get hit, and then village be liable, right? Legalities and liabilities. You know, all we're worried about. Open contact MDOT about it.
You're one of 7 votes, and I have not seen anything where we've been directed by a vote of the council to
It's only a foot,
expand
4
that
foot wide.
That's the sidewalk,
standard.
standard sidewalk. So that went off of that, there's a standard sidewalk. Thirds is what we got. So we have a first and a second, any more discussion? If not. Roll call, please.
Medina,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Fischel,
Yes.
Schmeckel,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Ruddy,
Yes.
Miller.
Manager's report. Mr. All.
All right, thank you, Mike. First I'd like to congratulate Five Butts for a successful grand opening that they had here a week ago. Also like to congratulate the Roscommon Canoe Association for holding their 42nd annual canoe classic race. A nice turnout, beautiful day. Did a nice job. And the Roscommon Rotary Club, they had their spring auction. The final numbers haven't been tabulated, but I'm thinking they probably made around $40,000 or so, and as Rotary pledges, they give the majority of that money back to the community. So so again, a lot happening on as far as getting some movement here, and I want to congratulate all 3 of those parties for that. One more congratulations is in order. You may have heard last week there was some sirens and different fire trucks and officers escorting our high school choir through the town here. Our choir competed at the state level, and you normally receive a rating of 1 through 5, and they received all 1s, and which is can't do any better than that. So again, a talented bunch of kids there, and I want to congratulate the school for doing that. Tammy Shamaluski, the choir director, she's retiring this year after 29 years of working for Roscommon, so she would be dearly missed. If you recall, boy, it's been a few months. I don't think it's been a year when Vanessa Varner was here to give us a county
natural hazard migration plan that we were working on. I received a letter that that plan has been approved at the state level. So all the townships had to pass resolution to support it. And it went to the state. It is now approved, so our emergency migration plan is good through 2029. So anyway, want to thank you guys. The village council was the first governmental body to vote on that and to get it going. So thank you. Last month, we rescheduled our Five Families meeting. It's this Thursday at 6 o'clock here at the Village Hall. Again, part of our redevelopment ready community certificate, we have to host meetings where different bodies are working together and such. Also through the Planning Commission and the DDA, by state statute, they have to have one meeting a year where public can come in and either listen to what projects they're working on or plan on working on, goals or and set up things. And so that fulfills that requirement too. So public's welcome. We'll have a few refreshments here as normal. Village flowers. This seems early, but Memorial Day is early this year. And so I'm being told the village flowers, the hanging baskets are ready. And so we will get the hanging baskets out this week, Thursday. And the bed flowers will be planted next week. And so here we go, kind of starting the new season. And I'm always I heard someone mention this before the meeting started, and no one watches the evening, morning temperatures more than I do once these flowers go, because the first 2 or 3 weeks is a little scary. We have 44 hanging baskets and 40 beds. And to take some time to either bag them up or cover them up if there's a frost takes a little doing to do. So our watering team is ready to go. And there's a couple of people, Mary Jane and also Chris Young, who has volunteered on set up a time to train them, show them where everything's at, and get things ready to go on that. So I want to thank everyone in advance that volunteers. Halfway through the summer, we have what's called a weed and feed night. I tell anyone that they come in for volunteer and we appoint beds where they'll weed the beds, and they work for 1 hour only. And when they come back after an hour, they come back here, we normally have hot dogs or something like that to provide a little something for them for their hard work. So we'll do that again this year. It's normally about halfway through the season, sometime in July. Village cleanup took place a couple weeks ago. Due to the number of volunteers, it didn't take very long. It normally there's enough little maps on the stand there that you make a couple, if not 3 trips out in the community. And this time there was enough volunteers where you only had to make 1 trip. They did a fantastic job. Ross County Rotary sponsored a little luncheon for them that was prepared at the Burden of Bear. And but I can't thank the community enough for coming out and supporting that. That's a good kickoff to our spring thing here. Our compost is going to try something. We got this suggestion from one of our residents this last year. On Thursday nights, from 3 to 7, we're going to try to have some evening hours at the compost site. Thursdays from 3 to 7. We're going to monitor that for a while to see what type of participation we get on that. What the guys are all willing to go ahead and try that for a while. We also have an agreement with the Lions Den that they will work with us. Lions Den, they have these garage sales that are kind of big, and sometimes they have some things that need to be dumped. And if a couple times last year they'd show up and kind of fill up the whole dumpster at one time. So we're working with them. They're gonna give us a little labor and we're gonna, work with them as far as we got a little room for this. They can bring partial loads over, and so it's not gonna fill the dumpster up all at one time. Debbie's been working hard with the street light, crew as far as electricians coming out. She, met with them a couple weeks ago. And they walked the town, took down certain things, looking for the eye sensor to change and swap out in some of these, light, or some of these lights. It was told to us that, no, these sensors are located on the light. Well, they're not. They're located up the, utility pole. You know, so it's something that we just can't do, but the gentleman, seemed to be quite confident that they will tackle this, and he said he'd get back with Debbie with a quote or. Okay. Okay, all right,
Electricians or is this consumers or who is it?
this is electrician,
Electrician.
yeah. And it's the same company that installed some of the lights, yeah. So we're gonna, do that, so. Again, as mentioned, as far as the posting for a sidewalk, I wanna gather some prices to share with you. That posting will be up on the 30th of May, and so that'll be on the June agenda for you to, look at. The Roscommon Outfitters. I think they've been in business, probably this might be the third year. Last year, they started, on the free fishing weekend. Michigan has 2 free fishing weekends. And on one of them, they started, worked with them and they put together, a kids fishing weekend. Where, every one that signed up, every child signed up, they got a fishing pole, then they've got some tackle, the tackle box. The Burden of Bear, sponsors a luncheon and brought down, something for them to eat, excuse me. And so, they're gonna do this again this year. Last year, as a member of the Roscommon Whitetails Unlimited, I wrote a grant for them and they received $1,000 to kick off this project. I wrote another grant for them, and I'm waiting for that to see if that's gonna be approved or not, but that will be for 1,500. So hopefully they can continue to do that. They were shocked on how many kids they had last year. You know, and believe it or not, underneath that bridge in that area, they said every child caught something. It may have been a crayfish, they're still fish, you know, and they enjoyed themselves, so that was pretty encouraging to see. Last but not least, our community food distribution will be Saturday, the 18th of May at the Raps Bus Garage. That's all I have.
Any questions for Mr. Halden?
Got it's kind of a township deal, but probably affect us with our dumpster, the compost site. If you don't know any information about these new trash cans, like I get people saying they're too small, other people say they're too big. Are you still can put big items out? Because if you still can't put big items out, people are gonna start taking to that dumpster. They can fill the dumpster up.
Yeah, we were kind of blindsided by that too. People started calling us and saying, asking about these dumpsters or containers, and we didn't have any idea. That the trash pickup is all dealt with through Higgins Township. And so I know Fran especially has been fielding some phone calls on this. I was told, but I have not called them to verify this, so I heard this secondhand, that you can still put a large item out, but you have to call them ahead of time to let them know if you have gonna set it like a couch out or a larger item like that, because they'll have a separate truck that come through and pick it up. But again, I heard that secondhand, so I'm not sure if that's a actual procedure.
Then my next, there's another kind of township deal, but maybe the village kind of nudge them or something, but they're gonna put that RV park on the edge of town. Anything we do to clean up that mess, pile of brush and culverts and
I would recommend that you attend, the Higgins Township
they meet today,
meetings. I think is
they
it
meet
today?
right now.
Okay.
I thought it was the first Monday.
It's normally the first Monday, but I know there's been a couple of occasions where they move it, but that would be where you need to direct that. I know I had, inquired about that here probably 3 months ago. And I was just told, well, there's nothing,
I'll stir the pot up.
there's no plans. And I said, well, just something to, the gentleman that bought that, they haven't heard anything from him. Or I'm not sure they have any contact information for him or not, so,
Is that RV park that we talked about?
yeah,
That,
yes.
so that guy bought land and then,
Yeah, just
Went in the
outside
wind?
the village, they're a hilltop there and right past those apartments on the east side of the road. And Tony's right, it doesn't look good.
He just like left. He was gonna put the park back there, but it's turned down.
the township turned him down, but apparently not, because,
Oh, yeah, he was turned down.
Oh, people did this all prior to the township meeting.
oh, I see. I
They're
see.
doing this without prior.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
So he just like vanished into thin air.
So I do know
Okay.
the road commission did make a contact about picking up the, well, with culverts and stuff up front of it, and that kind of stuff. Take it off in the roadside case for that, did something, yeah. To my knowledge, I've talked with his sister. He's back in town because his dad passed away this winter. But plans on being at the end of the week or whatever and not worry about talking at all. So that's where I know, that's all I know about it, so. I wish I could tell you more. Any other questions from Ron? If not, we'll move on to number 5, public acknowledgement on agenda items, 2 minutes per speaker. If not, we'll move on to unfinished business. DPW report. Yeah.
Yeah, but since we have people zooming in, could you go and turn the mic on and I know you love that.
Hey, everybody. So the past month, we have been doing spring cleanup as far as leaf pickup and brush. It seems like that's pretty much fizzled out, so I think we're about done with that now. The last few weeks, the grass at all of our locations that we mow have taken off, so the guys have been helping Jerry to try and get going on all that and make sure it doesn't fall too behind or anything, because it just took off. I'm sure you guys have noticed. We are going to be starting to flush hydrants in the near future. And beyond that, it's just, mowing and, everyday stuff, so. Short one, Ron already brought up the lights. Like I said, I'm working on getting the quote right now. I expect to hear from Blanchard Contracting tomorrow. So, and then I'll make sure Ron has that information for you guys.
Is there a young gentleman coming back from school?
He is. Yep. As soon as he's from what it sounds like, as soon as school's done, he would like to come back. So we're thinking the following week once the new payroll starts. So but he was a lot of help last summer, so we're
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
You did a great job.
Yes, he did.
I think you're patching chuck holes, at least it appears that way.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that.
yes.
I noticed the county was out today down below town here patching chuck holes. I really appreciate that because
Yep, the guys went through about a week and a half ago and they spent the day filling holes, and actually with Tisdale and Esther and Hilltop being redone and stuff, it didn't take as long as it normally does. But they did a great job going through, checking everything around town, so.
So I can comment, I guess, on the compost site since they're part of your team.
Mhm.
they're doing a great job. I said that last month, I'll say it again this month. They're doing a great job up there. And, they told me that grinding up that brush is saving us a ton of money over, I won't even mention who it
It
is.
is,
There's other compost sites in this county that are paying a lot of money to have it done.
right,
And I told him, I said, I remember, we used to have somebody come in here with a tub grinder, and they dropped the brush in the top of it.
right.
And some jerk threw out some like heads from a car engine or something, and they
Oh.
picked it up and ruined that. I mean, it cost them a small fortune to get that fixed, and I think that's when they quit doing it.
I guess that's one fortunate thing about having the setup that we do, that we, you know, with that we
Yeah.
use, the chipper that we use, is
Yeah.
they're feeding, you know, they're seeing what they're putting in, so
Yeah,
hopefully nothing's in it that would just cause damage like that.
and I noticed that somebody came and dumped a load of leaves right on that finished compost that, you put on your garden. And I said something to one of the guys up there, and he said, yeah, I told the guy about it, politely, and he said, well, it's all compost, isn't it? And so it's nice that the public, does their fair share too, you just
Right.
can't, go in there, don't be jerk, go in there and put it where it belongs.
Yeah, Tim and I were able to get it moved to where it should have been, but
How many dumpsters are we on now? I think at least two. Yeah, I was gonna say, they fill up fast.
yeah, it doesn't seem like they're going as fast as the last couple of years, but we do try and keep it pushed down as much as possible so we can fill them as much as
Yeah.
possible, so
Well, yeah, they're doing a good job.
they are, I agree.
I'm in there every day walking my dog up around the industrial park, so I see it.
Right,
Okay, thank you, Debbie. Sorry I talked too much.
no worries.
Any other questions, Deb?
Well, I should have asked this when Ron did the manager's report maybe, but how was Thursday identified as the late night for compost?
They are open on, we just kind of pick their open on Tuesdays and then Saturday and Sunday, okay? And so I'm talking to the guys and looking at their schedules. They had both said Thursday night would work the best for them. One thing we're looking at is maybe at that time, have both the guys show up and then they can do some extra chipping at that time and working with the Lions Den. And Thursday seemed to work best for the Lions Den too, so we didn't have any date in mind, but we started comparing schedules and that Thursday would work best. So
Okay.
I just went with that then.
Okay, the reason I ask is only because I was thinking that if it's a trial to see how it goes, it seems like maybe a Monday night would be a good option because people will have maybe done their weekend stuff and want to get rid of the things quicker than waiting till Thursday, but that's just my thought, so. That's why I asked.
I do have one other thing. The clock. I'm sure you guys have noticed that it's been working and then it stops and then it's working again. We had some issues with the GFI, thought we had it all straightened out, got it back in the right time zone, and then the GFI completely quit working. So I am in the process of getting a new one for that as well. So you can ask Ron, that clock has been a battle for me, so.
Debbie has done an amazing job, very persistent on that clock. One thing that she found out and shared with us, and I never would have guessed this, but that clock, when you set it, you gotta set it to the right time zone. And that clock was put in like 85, was it? I don't remember.
Yep, so
I-
when they came and redid everything for it last year, they put a new controller in it and it's digital. So that's where the time zone comes in now,
And that's,
so.
never would have guessed that a clock that would,
Me neither.
you just think you'd set it that, but you gotta program it to a certain time zone. So anyway, it's
Been interesting.
yeah, but Debbie will have it working soon. I know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is economic director report. Mr. Jim Carrio's.
Good evening, everybody. Just a quick reminder, we're trying to work out these kinks on these microphones and our Zooming, the guests that are online. And I know a lot of you have your microphone. Maybe some of you saw me bug Mike and try and pull his speaker a little bit closer. So either speak up or bring it a little bit closer there. If you're this far away, those folks can't hear. So we got to bring it in just a little bit. There is ongoing discussion of new microphones and things that may or may not be as sensitive, but that's a discussion for another day. Good evening. I'd like to start off by introducing a young man, Russell Lynn. Stand up, Russell. Russell, I gave you a little shot across the bow a couple months ago. Russell is a graduate student at the University of Michigan. He comes from Singapore, and he's lived in the United States for a few years now, going to school, a couple years. Less than a year, okay. But he is our summer intern. And so he started today. We gave him a little tour of the village and the offices and the grounds and so forth. And so we're going to get him right to work tomorrow, working on some master plan, some good stuff. So master plan and some zoning and so on and so forth. He has an interest in sustainability, community garden. So he would like to work with those folks, also with the Recreation Authority. We'll see him probably about one day a week as well. And so welcome, Russell. And he is staying with Carl and Sue Jock. Thank you very much for hosting Russell. And so he'll be here for the next nine or 10 weeks. Welcome, Russell. So I think it was new Councilman Kehoe that mentioned something about the tourism assessment. The FIT tourism assessment, first impressions, was put on by MSU Extension. I'd mentioned a couple meetings ago that this is a pilot project done by county. They've done it by community before, but they did our entire county, focused on the 3 tourism areas, basically the 3 lakes, Houghton Lake area, St. Helen area, and Roscommon Higgins Lake area. They had a meeting 2 Wednesdays ago, excuse me, to give just a brief synopsis of what they did. They sent 5 secret shoppers to these 2 areas. They spent 4 days shopping, staying at hotels, bed and breakfasts, visiting the parks, the recreation activities, and many other things. And they gave a brief overview 2 Wednesdays ago, but they're rolling out their feedback, both positive and negative, to those 3 communities over the 3 Wednesdays. And they will be both either live or online. Last Wednesday was Houghton Lake Community. They did that online. I don't have the link with me, but if you request, send me an email. I'll send you the link where you can watch the video of those results. This Wednesday, 2 days from now, the St. Helen results will be presented. And then on the 22nd of May, 2 Wednesdays from now, the Roscommon Higgins Lake results will be presented. So we will have a live opportunity right here in this hall on the 22nd. It will be 6 to 7:30, and there will also be a Zoom option. If you choose the Zoom option to watch this online, you have to go to the MSU Extension website and register your name in order to get that private Zoom link. Otherwise, you won't be able to attend. You can certainly just show up here at 6 o'clock, and I urge you to. That would be great if we had a good crowd here for these folks from MSU Extension. And I'm relatively excited. A few of the folks that are in the audience did attend the first one, and the preliminary results are that Roscommon did quite well in this assessment. So we're hoping that if you're a business owner or have anything to do with the recreation, the parks, council members, DDA, Planning Commission, I would highly recommend that you attend that assessment. We continue to work on the master plan. Our original goal was to finish in October. We are on chapter 6 out of 8 chapters. So we've revised a little bit, and I think we'll have that done for your board's approval maybe July or August. So that sounds like it's very doable. You might remember that I've been talking a lot about housing and a housing study. We finally got the preliminary results of that study. It's still in draft form for feedback from the townships. Our village and the 11 townships helped to finance this housing study. To just give you a very, very brief, it's a 105-page report, but the real simple, what do you want to know, is that it's something that we already know, is that there is a housing shortage in the county and the village of Roscommon. And the number one priority should be single-family homes, duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes is the recommendation of this consultant. Workforce housing comes in at number 2, and it was market rate rentals came in at number 3. So these are 3 things that we kind of knew, we expected would be at the top. It's not to say there aren't issues with other types of housing, low income and senior citizen housing. There are issues there as well, but we really need to house our workforce and our families. And so we're going to use this report to hopefully attract developers. And we are looking for micro developers. A micro developer is a resident of the village who has an empty lot or 2 or 5 or 10 and wants to put something up. There is going to be some funding from MISTA and MEDC. And so get a hold of me if that's something that's even remotely in the back of your mind, if you want to be a housing developer. So a couple years ago, an art committee was started at the DDA level. That was reignited last month. We've got a few of our DDA members that will be serving on that. We're looking at different locations in the village, not necessarily in the downtown, but focusing on the downtown area for murals. If you have any ideas or want to give us any feedback with regards to what you might like to see, please email me. Summerfest, put on by the Chamber of Commerce, is June 1st. This year, they're going to try a village-wide garage sale. And if you're interested in participating in that village-wide garage sale, the Chamber of Commerce Director Tracy is going to do a map. If you let her know ahead of time, you can be put on this map. And so people coming to the area wanting to go to different garage sales will be able to see your garage sale. She's going to work something out with the village manager and the clerk with regards to we actually have a garage sale license permit. And so we're going to probably permit them all at once sort of situation. And I don't know if you've talked to Tracy about that. So also the first farmers market, everybody's excited about flowers. We're also excited about that great farmers market that we have here in town. And that is starting this Saturday. So come out, let's have a nice grand opening for the farmers market. The senior class of 2024 Roscommon High School banners, you may have seen those flying. We continue to try and have a great working relationship with the schools, and those banners are part of that. And we've got a lot of great feedback on those. Those banners were partially financed by the parents of the seniors as well as the DDA. Let's see. Oh, we're going to be, over the last year, I've had a chance to visit a lot of township halls, a lot of municipal buildings, and our village hall stands up loud and proud against most of them. We've got a really great village hall here, and this new design is bright and colorful. And initially, some people thought, "Ooh, that's a little loud," but I think that most people have really come to like this design and color scheme. And so therefore, I have volunteered the village to host a couple of statewide events. One is an MEDC regional meeting that we'll be hosting later on in June. And we also are going to be hosting that MSU Extension Tourism event on the 22nd. Last but not least, the Match on Main grants have been submitted at the state level. Our our committee, our DDA, Match on Main committee sent two really good applications off at the state level. I'm really excited to hear back probably next month on whether any of our local businesses will receive that $25,000 grant. And I'm going to come back a little bit later and talk about the social district, but any questions? Yes.
I brought this up a while back, but is there any way we could market our properties, we get an MLS number, you know,
I mean, we
put
can,
out there somehow, so just a small sign on the side of the road?
that's a good question. Why don't I have that conversation with the village manager? I didn't know that that had ever occurred in the past. So,
Well, I think it hasn't, I brought it up in the past.
okay.
Through the RRC certification process, we had to come up with 3 to 5 different properties that we wanted to market that they can share with different developers and get out on their stuff. So it's been a few years since we have done something like that, and so maybe that's something we can talk to Pablo to see if there's gonna be another opportunity for us to market some of our larger areas.
You know,
Okay.
you can find like a website like landforsale.com or something like that. I'm sure there's some kind of website where we can. You know how much we sold the dialysis center, and you know how much they bought the acre of land for? $1. That was the thing. If you had a viable plan for development, they, you know, I don't want to say if you put land for $1, people might think it's a scam or
Well, I can't.
Has people calling.
I can't say I don't like some of your ideas to really market these properties. I know that a number of them have been sitting for decades, and so they're particularly my predecessor Dan Scow made a huge effort to market those properties. We continue, and for the audience, we're talking about the mixed use developable property across from Lear, and we're talking about the industrial park. I think that's what you're referring to. Those two properties, that land is cheap and available for development. So I'm going to market it right now online to everybody. But I do take your comments seriously, and I will look into that.
So we get the World Wide Web. We could.
All right. For a commission, right? Any other questions before I come back in a few minutes?
I got
You got another
idea for a mural. The hidden part there, Dan shop and the scrapbooking building would be a good place for them.
Okay.
Just make, you know, even if you just paint it green like this and brighten it up, so just a gray brick wall.
I'd like that. I'd really like to spruce up that park too. So that's a great idea.
And but, very else. Thanks, sir.
All right.
Next item is Hiawatha update, Mr. Alden.
As you recall from last month, said that we're getting right down to the final stretch, and what has happened now is, they are going through the, materials list one more time, and going through the, bid sheets to get an accurate final amount of money that this project's gonna run. It will be on the June MEDC board, agenda for an increase of funds. When we started this project, a couple, 3 years ago, you know, the costs have just went up. That the grant that we received was for $919,000. The bids all came in, and $919,000, you know, does not cover the entire cost for the project. The village is still responsible for getting the kayak canoe launch, and getting that installed. We're also responsible for furniture that is down there and the gazebo. And so plus upfront, we had to put up $184,000 for engineering. So we're gonna go back to MEDC, ask them for additional funds, and if all goes well, we receive this project will start the first part of August. the contractor, the low bidder Chase Shepke, who, again was a low bid. He's not available to work on it until August anyway, so the timing of this, I just thought we got nothing to lose, but go back and request additional funds from MEDC. So that's where we're at right now.
Your question, they're always sidewalk. If not, we'll move on to South River Center Pavilion.
Uh, we had a meeting, in regards to going over the blueprints of what this, pavilion could look like. We talked about, uh, different things like how many outlets we might need, or do we need blinds or some type of curtain on one side or a couple sides for windy days, and kind of those types of cosmetic things. I've also met with the road commission in regards to what has to occur to take that two-way street, Brook Street, from the railroad track to the north to Main Street, and make it a one-way, and the procedure to go through that. It's something that we'll have to draw up. We'll have to run that by the state police and get their blessing to do so. Once that's done, we can go ahead with signage and move on that. We have another meeting, hopefully this Wednesday. So we're waiting to hear back from one more person, this Wednesday, to look at how we want to bid this out. Do we want to bid it as a whole project? Because again, the goal is a DDA would like to get a surplus of volunteers to help raise the structure and take care of things. And so and we've had some good response so far. People stepping up saying that, yeah, I'm willing to help and such. So we're gonna look at do we want to contract, bid out the excavating? Do we want to then bid out let's just say the cement work, electrical, the construction and things like that. So we have a meeting this week to just discuss at that point just how we want to go forward at this time.
Any questions for?
I think, was the addition to that. So we're still waiting on the builder's risk, insurance, quotes for that. But we also have, drawing of that building that we're going to be putting up at the River Center and at the Pratt Center, so that people, if they're permitting, we can take a look at the projected project.
Let's see if I have to. Nice, and we have one in our front window too, so good. Getting a lot of neat comments about that. People are excited, especially with our farmers market with growing, and the whole reason behind this is the farmers market. Marcy has to do a bit of a juggling act because we're getting so many vendors that who gets the cover and who gets the tent, sort of thing, and so this would allow everyone to have some type of covered structure over their heads, but we are having more and more different events. Even looking at Christmas in the Village, our Rocktoberfest, and different things. So a pavilion would be used for multiple different activities. So this is
Might be. Right.
good size. So I will say the road commission didn't have any issues with that. They like the idea that we're gonna have annual parking, which would be nice, and they said that they're gonna discuss any other aspects of that I need to be concerned of. Again talk about this, not only the striping and paving and such, but how where we're gonna put the signs. There's gonna be a little trial period, let's just say, because people are gonna just inhabit, and turn on there. The nice thing in that stretch is no residential housing, so it's just basically on the east side of the road. It's just a vacant frontier parking lot that's gated off, and then the South River Center. So it'll take a little getting used to, but I'm sure it'll work out.
Any other questions for Ron? South River Center. So if not, we're gonna move on to Village Common Social District, Ferry Ellen.
Yeah, I know we have a lot on that new business category there, so I'm gonna zip through this. If you remember the last couple of meetings, we discussed the idea of a social district downtown where a lot of the resort communities up north are allowing, due to COVID, outdoor seating, outdoor consumption of alcohol in specified bars, liquor establishments, and so forth. At this time, we were hoping to vote on a resolution at this May meeting. However, our attorney has advised that we need to include some more information in a management plan. And so I'm going to be working with the Social District Committee to work on that management plan. And I'd like to just elicit some brief unofficial feedback from the council. One of the main elements of the management plan are the hours of the social district. Some communities, the social district never closes. It's 24/7, 365. Others, they limit it to weekends. Others limit it to special events, festivals, so on and so forth. If we were to allow our local drinking watering holes to give a plastic cup with the social district logo to a patron where they could walk to an open space, a picnic table, a bench. They actually could walk into another business if they allowed it and shopped with a beer in their hand. I just want to get a kind of feel, excuse me. Is this something that we want to, and Grayling does this, and Grayling does not do 365 days a year. So they have a limit on certain days, weekends, and so on and so forth. That's my initial thought. Unless anybody on the council, we have a committee that's been giving us some feedback, but does anybody have any strong sentiment one way or the other?
Well, I would say it's strong, but I say just have it open like business hours of the, maybe Monday through Thursday, 9 or 10 o'clock, and I shut it down, and maybe midnight on the weekends.
That's very similar to what Grayling does. Weekdays, it closes earlier, and then actually midnight or after on the weekends. That's something that we're considering. So probably leaning in that direction. If anybody has any other comments, I'd welcome.
I know I'm pretty new about it, but I think, like what Tony's saying is, especially the Thursday, Friday, Saturday window, maybe till midnight, something like that, that's controllable. And I took the liberty to talk to some folks that are in the store about social districts. And some folks from downstate and over in the Grand Rapids area, they were really surprised that we were thinking about it, and they thought it was a great idea. And they even threw out some ideas. They said, well, you've got your winter season up here, down in the Grand Rapids area. They set up these little igloos, these little heated igloos. And they said, you would be amazed at how full these little igloos are during that social district. And it just brings a lot of people in, and they said they experience nothing but fun times. So
Okay.
just a little bit of.
Thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. And yeah, you got a big agenda going. Okay.
I don't, you have a map? And
I do have a map. It's on my computer. But I could describe it. It goes to both sides of the road up to Fred's, comes all the way down and stops here at the butcher shop corner. It goes a block that way, just past his candle shop, but the St. Vincent and the Spruce would not be included in the social district. And it comes this way, all the way up to include the craft center, but not the county building. That's in general the district.
Is the Saddle River Center in the?
Yeah, Saddle River Center is in the social district, yes. And we based on actually your feedback, we purposely left the Wallace and Hiawatha Park out of it because there currently is an ordinance against alcohol in the park.
And like I shared with you, there's there's no businesses down there that.
Yeah.
Benefit,
Right.
It would just be walking the park, get drunk, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, the direct downtown, and we had to include Fred's because you need at least 2 sponsoring bars, and we only have 2 sponsoring bars at this moment. So Greens and Fred's. And there is talk of two more bars, the old Tin Fish, Roscoe's, and the possible future brewery in the Chase Bank building across the street. Yes.
Do you need two sponsoring bars forever?
We have to always have a minimum of two sponsoring bars. And then the two new ones that come on have to become sponsors. Or not, they don't have to, but then they won't be participating. Question from the audience. Uh, the question is, are we going to do it like Mount Pleasant does it? Right now, as long as an area is enclosed, you don't need the social district designation. So Green's Tavern, for example, if they fenced off their front yard, they could have patrons drink their beer on their front porch. That's legal with or without a social district. If you close the streets, however, and you have a block party of sorts, then you'd have to have the social district designation. That would not necessarily, what you're describing is taking the bar owner's fence and putting it into the road with the permission of the municipality, and that is legal and they don't need a social district as long as it's fenced in. Yeah, but that's not what we're going to do. I mean, we're not going to stop a bar owner from doing that because they have the right to do that. But we're going to allow, for example, during the big festivals, Christmas in the Village, the Shamrock Drop, and so forth. Somebody could go into Green's Tavern, buy a social district beer, which will have a plastic cup with the logo and Green's Tavern on it, and then they could walk around downtown during the festival. Go ahead, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Ferriero, for that. Next is new business, Roscommon Community Garden logo, Mr. Alden.
Okay, at the last meeting, several of you, council as well as people in the public voted on, we had about 14 different options over there, and you want to know which one won? And it's this drawing here. And let's see if I can straighten that up for you. That'd be nice. Not like that, not like that, not like that. Oop.
Okay.
One more time.
More.
Boom. I guess scroll down. There you go. Okay.
Bring it down to 100%.
Yep. Anyway, this drawing was done by Emma, yeah. And Emma's junior, 10th grader, sophomore. And so this one here received most votes, so that'll be the logo for our community garden.
And the print's really nicely, if we've already made the banner, it looks really nice. I think it's great.
Very nice. So congratulations to Emma and thank you so much to the community garden committee that's working hard. Warren, can you just give us just a short update on what's going on right now at the community garden?
We are working on right now expanding, doubling the size of our garden. We've got grants for materials, but we're really working on the later part of it. So we've got a fence posts in and we have shooting for, the end of May to have the fence up. If we can do that, then we can start bringing other, we want to make sure the fence is up before we do any planting in that expansion. And the Rotary helped us with our whole, we've got an activity center that should be finished by the end of May also.
Very nice.
Okay. Next item will be cemetery lot pricing discussion.
No, Kirtland Warbler
Oh,
Festival.
sorry.
The,
No more questions.
the Kirtland Warbler Festival, every year they have a festival here in town. It's been different places of the county, but they're gonna have it in town again for, I'm not sure, it's the third or fourth year. Maybe longer than that, but this year they're having a raffle. And the items that they're gonna raffle off is in the $500 range, so therefore they need your approval for them to hold a raffle. So I'm looking for a motion to allow the Kirkland Warbler Festival Committee to hold a raffle at this year's festival. It is the festival runs from May 31st to June 2nd. And it'll be located right on the grounds in front of the Craft Center.
I'll second.
Yeah, first, second, any discussion? If not, second vote, one favor?
I,
Get that. Next will be cemetery lot pricing.
Okay, y'all have probably the list in there. Okay, I'm thinking you should put that in there, Ron, the comparing the prices. Cause even Garish called up a couple of weeks ago, wanting to know what our prices were, cause they're, all of them were comparing. And we've been talking about it for a while, just in the office and not to you guys yet, so we did propose a little bit of a raise on ours because I think it was like 2012, 10 or 12 was the last time these prices were set. So, and we really don't even hardly make enough money to maintain the cemetery. So just proposing these little bit of increase for our cemetery. Why don't you go to the list?
One of the concerns that the cemetery board that met this last week has is if the village continues to be the cheapest plot available, we may fill up faster than what we want because people are willing to pay our price versus in the township that they live. So part of that is, the thought is to keep this somewhat balance. So again, we have enough lots for our village residents and we don't fill up with non-village residents. The 350, basically they took the numbers there and did some math and that kind of close to what the average price is. The cremation burials, we are getting more and more of them constantly. I think we got 2 this week, but it just seems to be we're constantly sending folks out there. The traditional burial, there's someone that's contracted to go out there and dig that. The cremation burials, our staff digs by hand.
got a question.
Yeah.
I noticed, I think it was in the cemetery board, but you just gotta share with us some of the plans, like I think it's something about like a cremation wall.
Oh, well,
That's open
we
and
talked
built.
about, yeah, we did talk about, cause we were gonna try to set up an area in the new lot or maybe on the other side of the building for just cremations. Cause we have so many of them now, so if you just need one or something, you could just buy a spot. But then they've had Ron, I think he saw one when he was downstate and they have, with that building, you don't do anything with that building. And we've talked about it, so if there was like doors on there's doors on one end, if there was an opening on the other end. And it was just kind of like a pavilion, but inside, on each side of the walls, we could put in the squares. And then you would buy, if you had a cremation, you could buy one of those and then you'd have your name etched on it and those would be sealed. So you don't have to be in the ground, you could just be in the wall and you could make quite a few of those on either wall in there. So it's just some ideas, uh, because of all the cremations we have, and we have been selling them like crazy, but even our new spots are selling more than they have since I've started. You know, and for full burials, cremations, all of it. It's like, wow.
I got neighbors all around me out there now.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And
I
you
bought it
know,
when I did.
they want to be back in that corner by the trees and stuff, and it's just. But like the last week we went out there and we had to mark out 6 different spots. Yeah, and those, couple of those were full burials too, and we have to pay to get those. It used to be that Kevin did them up at the funeral home. And just put them in with the people's thing, but now it's us that has, Kevin doesn't wanna do it anymore or something, so we pay $425 for those. You know, if they only sell the spot for $350 or $500. I have to
Make
find a
them
way
pay
to
for
bill
it?
these people for that. Yeah, it's just, so I just think we need to raise our prices up a little bit. Yeah, just to maintain, or do something different, cause even when we put the fence posts. And now we wanna put a couple more around that new section. So nobody's driving on the grass part, you know, and stuff later on, but. We have to redo the water lines. They're all so old. They have holes everywhere. They've checked it out. There's so many leaks and it's kind of tough to do water lines in the cemetery. You can't really shoot the lines around, so we gotta find ways to fix this stuff.
Who's maintaining the grass? I noticed it when I drove by there.
That's,
Dave Kelly.
oh, yes.
I just noticed it like because I was up there for that fire.
Yeah, he tries to get there by Memorial Weekend, which hopefully he will. Yeah. And I go up there, a lot so I can. Get all the old dead stuff or all the faded stuff, or people just don't really, they'll put stuff out there for Christmas and all, but they don't really pick it up all that much, so. I try to do that before he goes up there to vote. So his guys don't have to stop so much.
Just to mention that, there's a Civil War veteran that's buried up there in Bransman working with, Scott Martin's wife, Susan. She has the monument business and they got the headstone for him.
Yes.
His name was Islip. And he lived over in the southwest corner of Higgins Lake. And, anyway, he died about 1920, wasn't it?
Yes.
So there's gonna be a service, there's a group Cadillac coming over and 9 and 10 News, I think, is coming for this.
Yep.
I have a picture of him down at the Historical Society. I have a picture of him. He was always the flag bearer in all these Memorial Day parades and so forth. But he was buried and there's just no marker for his Civil War service.
You know, they're gonna try to do it before Memorial Day, but it's whenever Sue gets the stone set, cause she's very, very busy.
Yeah.
And then there's the group from Cadillac, they're gonna check with the sheriffs to do the 10-minute salute. And then our VFW is gonna do the trumpet on the taps. Cause I just got an email last week and his great grandson is like 70 and he's in Alaska, but he's gonna try to be here for it. Yeah, the other one, cause this is our second one since I've started, and the other one is great grandson from Ohio. 2 or 3 grades, he came up for that.
There was I just found, I don't want to take up any more time, but I'll quickly say that, Mr. Heislip's daughter's name was, Bessie, and she married a Kellogg, or Kellogg's Bridge up at Levels. And she worked in a hotel here where the BP gas station is. And then that's where she met Mr. Kellogg and they pulled their things up the North Branch with a horse and a barge and pulled all the belongings up there and they built Kellogg Bridge. But she was one of his children, so, okay, sorry, I'll take that.
Okay, can I get a motion on raising the price for cemetery lot?
I make the motion to approve the following cemetery lot increases. Resident lot purchases up to $350, non-residents up to $700, and cremain burials $100.
Yeah, first, I guess second, please. I'll say. Yeah, first, second, any discussion? If not, roll call please.
Ready? Yeah. Medina,
Yes.
Fischel,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Keyhole,
Yes.
Miller.
Yeah.
And Schmeckle.
Yes.
Thank you, passed.
Okay, next item is Hush Holiday Engineering Choice, Mr. Rowland.
Okay, well, I'm glad Scott Efson's here tonight from Jason Vanderbrick. Part of the EDA grant that we are pursuing. If you recall, that EDA grant is one that it's a 60-40 match. It's for infrastructure throughout the industrial park. Part of the requirements is you have to post and inquire, is there engineering agencies that want to compete or interested in it. So we reached out to several. One responded and said that is too far away, that they don't have the staff that could handle the Roscommon area. One group told us through email that they're interested in this. They're gonna talk about it within the office, but never heard anything back by the deadline. Then I sent you the copy from Jason Vanderbrick as far as their proposal is as far as this. So what I'm looking at from the council is a motion to agree to continue to use Jason Vanderbrick through this EDA grant application and the project for the industrial park.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve, he said Van Rick for our EDA grant in the
I'll make that motion.
first, can I get a second?
One second.
First, second, any discussion? If none, roll call.
Ready? Yes. Schmeckle,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Fischel,
Yes.
Keyhole,
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Okay, next item is the L 4029 2024 tax rate approval, Mr. Hall.
Okay, every year you have to approve the L 2029 tax rate form. And the numbers on the form, can you help me out here, Fran,
Sure.
on that form? Was there any changes from last year?
There have been no changes since I've been here because we still have the, I don't know where it is, but we still have the bond that you guys took out a while ago. So that's still on there and just our regular, tax rate and the water sewer thing. It's just those couple things that are on there. Is it in here? It's not. is
It was, and then I think I pulled it,
Oh,
because
because
you,
I messed up because Mikey signed it once. He's got to sign it. And I have to sign it. And then right after you did, I had a number wrong. So I had to change it. So it's sitting on my desk, but none of those numbers have changed in five
none of
years.
the taxable,
Yeah, they haven't
values
gone up.
changed.
They're just, ours stay the same because we're paying on that other grant thing till 2038. So that bond and our taxable numbers just haven't changed. Everything's the same. Because we have to have this approved and then we turn it into the county.
do we have a timeline that this has to be approved by?
Normally, yes, she wants it before we get our taxes, because it has to go through Rebecca first at the county, and then a copy of it has to go to Chris at the appraiser, or not the appraiser, assessor, so she can give us our final numbers.
So are
put on
we
the tax.
looking at summer taxes then?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve for the L 4029 tax rate?
Make the motion, to approve the 2024 tax rate as presented.
We got a first, I guess, second, but
I'll second.
first, second, any discussion? If not, roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Jen.
I just. We're making a motion to approve a tax rate as presented, but we truly don't have it presented. I feel like that might be some, if there is the ability to wait until we can see it. I would think that would make more sense.
Could the motion say no changes from last year?
Yes, there are no changes.
No additions or increases.
No increases since last year for that word.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that would make more sense.
Would you like to amend your motion?
Yeah, make a motion then set the 2024 tax rate.
There's no changes.
With no changes for the 2023.
Changes from, yes. Okay, got that.
Anyone move that?
Okay, Medina,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes,
Fischel,
Yes.
Smeckle,
Yes,
Kehoe,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
and Miller.
Yeah.
Now, and I have this, it's on my desk, and it's a public thing. Anytime you guys wanna come and see it, anybody wants to see it. We always have it.
Won't you give me a copy of that and I will send it out to council tomorrow.
Yes, cause I'll grab it and have Mikey sign it tonight.
Okay.
So it can go through the county.
Okay, next item is water system reliability study.
Hello, again, everybody. So we are asking for approval to have the water system reliability study updated. The last one was done in 2017. FMV is the one that did it then, so we're asking that they help us with it again this time. It is $6,000 to have them do the scope of work to do this. They do testing on hydrants, they go through looking over our system as a whole, kind of to get a scope of like a 5-year plan, 20-year plan. And then present it to the village and they'll help us get the report ready to send to the state and everything that needs to be done with it. With all the projects that we've had in the last so many years, it is a good idea to have it updated. So if you guys could approve that so we can get started on it.
Scott, is this something that Eagle normally requires or generally requires, especially when there's been activity done or whatever?
Yeah, there's 5-year. The water studies, when then one of these files on this side, then the stage. Water tank. Well. Projects.
The state hasn't asked for one as of yet, but with everything that we've had done and stuff, it'd be wise to get ahead of it.
I also like the fact that when you sent us the last quote for this, that the price has not changed over the last couple of years, so thank you for that.
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to have this event former village and Rock Common reliable study of our water system at a cost of $6,000?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Got first, second, any discussion? If not, roll call please.
Fischel,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Smeckle,
Yes,
Cook,
yes,
Medina,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Kehoe.
Yes.
Okay, next item is 2024 road pickup project.
Okay, the road commission projects are not one that necessarily I go and pick out and such is done by, the committee that works and as you know, the road commission will. Rate our roads and such and work along with us. The two projects that they're looking at this year. One is from M18. Down Sherwood, so where the family dentistry is. Down Sherwood and not around the corner, but through the corner. They would like to, grind that down. Put 1.5 inch cap on top of that. Do a little work on the sides. There's a part of a sidewalk that they're gonna grind up. They have to remove it and they will replace that. And some curbing and things like that. So that road currently is in rough shape. I think the local residents that live there just tear up and down that road to rip it up. But anyway, it's in bad shape and that's one of the projects that they're looking at. The other project is it's on 6th Street. A section of 6th Street, and then also along St. Helen to Robinson Street. And again, doing the same type of project there, grinding it down, putting a new cap on it, so it'll look like a brand new one. It's all done doing curving and taking care of everything else. So those two projects are slated to with your approval to go this summer if they're approved.
And we have Southline on the list this year.
The South Line is not. It was listed at one time, but if we get this grant that's going to do water and sewer infrastructure through there, we don't want to pave that road, only to rip out parts of it to get that taken care of. So they thought that they would wait to put that on either next year or the year following that.
I've said it many times before, I'll say it again, I take Southline home to get my house, that one's even tore up even worse. It needs a ditch. If you just dig a ditch, water will drain. All it needs.
I've got a quick question. Last year we discussed filling the cracks with tar in the industrial park. That didn't get done last year. We'll let that done this year.
As far as sealing,
Yeah.
again, I can't give you a yes or no at that. We haven't. I've
Road commission does.
discussed that with them.
Yeah.
But they are aware of that.
Okay.
And you know, the one thing that they're a little hesitant on, I know, is doing anything that they have to undo. So I can run that by Neil and Roger and see if that's on the list to crack seal that again.
Okay, thank you, that's all.
Okay, we're just gonna look for separate motions. There's two different prices. So the first one will be road project for Sherwood Drive from M18 to Oak Drive for the sum of $21,976. May I get a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Then first, may I get a second, please? First, second, any discussion? Tony?
I just want to point out that their sidewalk replacement, they go with 5-inch sidewalks. They must use a different sidewalk.
Thank you. Any more discussion? If not, roll call please.
Medina,
Yes.
Fischel,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Smeckle,
Yes.
Keyhoe,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
and Ready.
Yeah. Okay, the next one will be a really road product of 6th Street and then St. Helens to Robinson Street for the sum of $13,717. Can I get a motion on that? I'll make the motion on that.
I'll second.
Got a first and second, any discussion? If not, roll call please.
Cook,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Fischel,
Yes.
Smeckle,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Keyhoe.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next item is discussion item number 8.
This discussion item on council comment, and I've noticed that there are various signs in violation of our sign ordinance all over town. And there's one down at the barber shop at the First Street, it's high up on a utility pole. And I actually called that guy and asked him if he was still in business, because it's been there for over a year now. It's a painting and drywall business. And he said, yeah, he was still in business, and I said, well, you know, it's against the law, and he said, it's against the law to nail things to utility poles. There's 2 taxidermy signs down at the post office on one pole. And then across the street, there's a yellow sign that's torn in half. It's been there for years. And then there's lead-in signs, and realtors are not allowed real lead-in signs, but yet we have businesses that have, you know, there's 2 of them to the greenhouse. Out on Lake Street and out on Fifth Street. And I just wonder, are we gonna enforce this ordinance, or are we just gonna let it go? Because it's gonna get worse as people see these, people getting away with this. They're gonna start sticking the signs in your flower beds. And because I went through that for years. You know, there's stick yard sale signs and estate sale signs wherever they want. So I'm just bringing it up, and it's, you know, it's a violation of our ordinance, and they don't, if we're not going to enforce it, then we should get rid of the ordinance. So, that's all. Anything else for discussion? I got one more thing. Fran, would you please post the election, the candidates and so forth, who will be voted on? If you post that on our website somewhere, so, you know,
Candidates for what?
like who's up for reelection and just general information. I know you and Ron were gonna go over to at the last meeting, you were gonna go.
We just went over, we got dates and stuff because, you know, for the township, you have to be in April.
Yeah,
Ours we have till July,
yeah,
but he's got all that stuff.
yeah, okay. I'd like to get it out there to the public so people know, you know, that we have offices to be voted on, who they are. That's all. Thank you.
Good, yeah.
You don't have it on the website or on Facebook too?
Well, I'll put it on Facebook if I can get the information.
Anything else for discussion tonight? If not, move on to number 9, public knowledge, Smith, speaker. Yes, Mr. Workman.
Please.
I'm Tim O'Rourke. I'm a candidate for District 2, your district. Higgins and Garrett Township and Village. And I'd say I won the district in Higgins Township and the Village last time. It wasn't successful overall because I lost Garrett Township at a bigger amount. But I'm looking to serve again. That's what I want to do. I want to just serve the public. There's anything that you think the county should be doing on the county basis that would help the village. I really want to hear it. Familiar with all the roads in the village. I ran the road commission for 14 years, so I know the county roads and I know the village roads, and I think they were happy with the things that I did for you there. I think I could do an even better job serving you at the county. But happy to answer any questions you have. Just wanted you to know I'm planning on right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's him.
Any more public comment? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just a compliment to the DPW, the spring cleanup and the fall cleanup is fantastic. And I filled my lots full of leaves and needles, and they're just the devil to get up. They got everything up, every scrap and every twig and everything else. So all branches. And secondly, after the village cleanup, my wife and I went over to the cemetery to clean up the Potter's Field little memorial. And that sign we have, wife said has been there since they did the memorial.
Sign.
There's
On
a little
88.
sign describing why the Potter's Field is there. And if the village could find some way to put a nice sign at a nice readable level. My wife has to get up and tiptoes to see it. And it's such a nice site and it's such a nice thing, but if there's some way to put a more appropriate permanent sign there, because it is a dignified memorial, but it's really kind of the sign that's haphazard. So if that's something that could be done when you're having signs made or something, if that could be done, just would look nice. And cemetery is looking nice.
And another reason we need to have more money to maintain, because like a lot of those stones, we've got helping volunteers, they're gonna help put those stones back
Oh, that's
up
nice.
and clean them.
We'd like to know. if that happened.
Clean them and do stuff, yes.
But yeah, it was just something that we just noticed and we just wanted to clean up the weeds and stuff like that, but on that little plot. Then it would be nice to have a nice sign there. Because it is a very neat, the verbiage is nice.
It is.
The verbiage is nice and, you know, it could be just a nice addition. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else on public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Linda Montclair, village resident. And I received a letter, and I don't Brand's aware, I came in and talked to you a little bit about this. The letter, if you have a water meter or a sprinkler meter. And it just needs a little more clarification. I don't know who posted it. But it says a lot of weeds. We will then get a new meter reading. So when I read this, I'm thinking you're coming to my house and getting a meter reading, because it's all about me. It's not about the resident needs to inform the village of what you're. So I don't know if you need to send out new letters for clarification to all the people who got these. Are you aware of this letter? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. So just to clarify, I mean, I understood and I asked the question, but I can imagine how many people may not understood that it wasn't talking about, you guys are gonna do it. We've gotta submit our own numbers, right?
Well, there's can, and if not, then we come to it as long as it's out or have access.
Okay,
So part of what those are for in general is so we know exactly who has them and when they're outside, where they're at. Because when our guys go around doing the interviews, they don't know where they're at. You can sit there, well, they
yeah, my man, but I just didn't.
there are a lot of people that would prefer to just take a picture and send it. So that's where, it probably does.
Okay, just. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Any other public acknowledgement? If not, then move on to council comments, Mr. McKeon.
I'd just like to thank all the several volunteers volunteered in three events a couple weeks ago, the Gahagan cleanup, those who clean up the community garden. I went to the Gahagan Center and worked there till about 1 o'clock, and I showed them the garden to help them, and they're about 90% done, had about 20-30 people up there. It's quite incredible, all kinds of people moving around, roller tiller going, baseball going. They quick work with it.
I just appreciate the two candidates that interviewed tonight. Tough decision. That's a good problem to have though, so. Thanks.
I've already apologized to the two candidates, you know, like Maureen said, it was a tough decision and, don't feel bad. That, you know, you didn't get elected because you're definitely a qualified person. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you. Yeah.
I do not have anything tonight.
I will just thank the DDA for those senior posters as a parent of a graduating senior. They're very cool. And it's a nice addition to the village.
I'd like to say thank you for your support, and it's gonna be it's fun, you know, to see the village progress like it has. I've been affiliated here and now since 2015 when we bought our place over by Higgins Lake. And I've just seen nothing but continuous improvements of the village. And I think it's gonna continue to go with the projects that thank you. I want to say thank you for the rest that's come out for our village meetings. We love you to have here in Zoom meeting. Thank you for coming. DPW, great job as always. Thanks for keeping us informed. Please come to the family meeting, the representative, you have questions for us. To the 5 families on Thursday. at 6 o'clock here in the village hall. All I have. Item for next agenda. We got any item for next agenda?
Not yet.
I want
I'm looking forward to it, but. Okay. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Being the village drop shop is closed. 8:40.